What's up, everybody? On today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, we talk about what everybody else is talking about, thinking about, what America and part of the rest of the world has been shut down about. COVID-19, aka the coronavirus. So we talk about that. Got some voicemails.
AKA that Rona.
That Rona. There you go. We talk about that. We got some voicemails. All that and more on today's episode of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast. Pew, 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 pew.
Disease, the virus is written in all directions. No safe zone, no cure and no protection. No symptoms to find the signs of an infection. No vaccines, remedies, and no corrections. Quarantine your dreams and sell off our connections. Don't let them in.
Welcome back to episode 152. Ciento 52. I might be way wrong. Anyway, of the Hashtag Blackout Podcast, I'm Jared.
What's up, people? I'm Jay.
And we're back at it again. Jay, what is up, man? How has your past couple weeks been? I know it's been a couple weeks since we recorded, and that was my issue, which I'll talk about. But yeah, how's your past couple weeks been?
Not like I wanted it to go, I'll tell you that. So I know I had already mentioned before that we were supposed to be going on, spring break vacation. Mm-hmm. So we're supposed to go to Galveston, hang out there. Kids never really got a chance to hang at the beach. Mm-hmm. So quick little day trip. We didn't go because one of them decided he wanted to get sick, and I made the executive decision to not go because no telling what's in the air over there. But yeah, doctors were like treating him for like walking pneumonia.
Oh, wow.
He didn't have it, but they're just treating him that way. He's pretty much over it, I think, hopefully. So yeah, but other than that, we just chilled at home whole week. Then obviously, everything else going on in the news. Mm-hmm. That Rona going around.
The Rona.
That Rona. So yeah, they got another 2 weeks off. Hey, what do you know? Hey. So they got another 2 weeks off. Then obviously my wife's school, her job closed down. They shut down. I mean, she still has to go in and collect some things to work from home. Mm-hmm. My job shut down. So we working from home. Everybody going to be working from home now. Wow. So yeah, that's how it is, bro.
That is just a little cray. Yeah, I totally understand, because that is how my kids' school has been as well. They decided to shut it down as well just a couple days ago. Same reason, because of the corona. And yeah, man, my last couple weeks though, overall have been sort of wild. We recorded with Sir John Lee, which was a dope episode 151. Definitely stay tuned for some good music coming from him, some real good music. Yeah, we moved to a new house, which we had been building for months now. Finally, it's done after a lot of back and forth trying to get it done and delays. And yeah, so now we're in. Still got a lot of unpacking to do, boxes and setting up and whatnot, but it's livable for sure. I finally got the Xbox set up last night after a week of being down, so my son finally got to play after asking me for days to set it up. So, but yeah, man, we moved only like 10 minutes away from where we live. So, and since my wife is employed by the district, the kids can still go to the same school that they were in. So that'll be good for them.
Cool.
And yeah, but other than that, moving things, which is basically the reason why we haven't recorded. We missed a week of shows, and then man, the corona thing is out there, man. It's so wild, and that's sad that y'all couldn't go to Galveston, to take a spring break vacation down the road. But it's understandable, you got a sick kid, obviously you got to make that decision, which I think is tough in the time, especially if you have everything planned, but it's the right decision, especially if you can push your hotel or or
No.
Airbnb, whatever it is, dates to some other time.
I wish that was the case, but they didn't want to refund me my money because it was like a condo. So
They wouldn't even move your dates to a different date?
Nope. Here's the thing. If I would have moved my date, it would have been another $400, and I was like, nah, nope. But
wait, how much? How much? I'm sorry, you blanked out.
It would have been an additional $400.
Oh wow!
To move that date. So I was like, nah. But I did get like this. What do you call it? Traveler's insurance. Mm-hmm. So I'm trying to deal with the traveler's insurance. That's in case of emergency. You got to cancel your booking, your reservations.
Yeah.
And
okay.
Hotel won't refund you anything or whatever condo. So I'm trying to work with them to see if I could get my money back. They want all kind of crap like reason why you had to cancel. If it's a medical illness or something, you got to get like a written medical note saying this, and this. So I managed to do all that, but it's still taking us a minute to even hear back from them.
Yeah, and that I guess that makes sense. You got to get the reason, which makes sense in this case. Obviously, it's an illness, and to be able to provide proof so they can do that. But yeah, an insurance company is an insurance company, so they'll try to make it as hard as possible before they finally let go of some money. So that's crazy. Well, hopefully you can get that squared away and get paid back, and find another day and opportunity to do that. And it's interesting because I think doctors in the news, from the reports I heard was probably one of the safer places to be is the beach. Just because, and this is what they said, just because of the salt water, can basically kill whatever it is fairly quickly. And then also the wind there basically just blows. If somebody's around you with any kind of thing, as long as the wind's not blowing right at you, the wind would probably blow away whatever cough or sneeze in a different direction. So it could have been a good thing, but it's probably always safe to just make the right choice. And in that case, you make the right choice for your family. You got to do what you got to do, which makes sense. I don't know, man. It's one of those things. People with kids totally understand. You can be around your kids for as long as you possibly can stand it, and they could stand you, and then everybody gets cabin fever. It's the reality of life. I know everybody loves their kids, but, there's also a point where everybody just needs their own space. So I think it's hard. It's probably hard for kids of several different ages to totally understand the magnitude of what's going on and, reasoning behind them not being able to go to school or be inside more often, etc. So, yeah, so hopefully we get this thing nipped in the bud, and the cases start to drop, and whoever does contract it, finds a way to get healthy, and we get some kind of vaccine or, some way to treat it, outside of how they treat the flu, I guess. So, yeah, man. So we were talking about this off air beforehand. So did you say y'all had some confirmed Rona in Fort Worth?
There's been like in the Metroplex, there's been quite a few, I guess, confirmed cases or suspected cases. I guess their test is going to the to the CDC or whatever. I mean, it's pretty weird as far as the tests go because they were saying, hey, Tarrant County has, they're doing testing now. Mm-hmm. So it wouldn't take as long to get your results back or whatever. But I don't know. And then they're saying all these things it's just made up. It still has to go through so many other people before they get it confirmed.
Yeah.
Reading. So I'm not sure. Hopefully I never have to do the test. But it's around. So
yeah, okay, I get it.
Yeah.
Yes, and then here, I'm just checking something right now. As of As of 4 hours ago, I think they have 24 confirmed cases in this state. And then in Salt Lake City, I live probably like 30 minutes from downtown Salt Lake. So, in a suburb. So Salt Lake City, let's see here, there's a total of 14. So everybody else sort of lives in another town or another part of the state. So it's pretty wild. But I guess my county, that would make it 14 in the county that I'm in. And then there's I guess 5 of those 24 are non-Utah residents. So they might have traveled in. They might have been traveling and just got here and then, got sick, whatever it was. Yeah. And I know from the reports I've seen, there's people who weren't able to be tested, but somehow the doctors basically told them that they had it without them being able to test, because the symptoms, and B, mainly because of the symptoms, but B, like I just read this one lady who lives in the area we just moved from, somewhere over there. She said that her husband is a pilot and he is probably the person who brought it back, but he just has sort of mild symptoms. Everybody else in their family sort of got mild symptoms like of a cold, but she's the one who got it the worst and, had the cough, had the sore throat, the headaches, all the other symptoms. So it's sort of wild, man. But I think now they're actually doing sort of like a Q&A, when you first come in to try to see if you're in a situation where you need the actual test, or if it's not,
right.
Because there's not enough, there's only X amount of tests. So it's crazy out there, man. Y'all stay safe. Y'all wash your hands. I don't know why people went for a run on toilet paper, but I guess
still baffles my mind.
Clean your backside if you need it. I mean, I guess I don't know. It's weird, man, because like you can only use so much toilet paper per day. Like normal people, I think a normal metabolism, they say you poop like once a day, right? Maybe twice a day, but normally it's like once a day or once every other day or something like that. So
it's pretty bad.
Unless you're using a whole roll of toilet paper each time you go, I don't think somebody needs, 16 24 packs to make it through a month or two. I don't.
Yeah.
So
yeah, but you got to remember, most ladies use they use booties eat up toilet paper.
That's true. They use more. That is true. I do get that. They have to use it every time they go. Even if, and this other thing, man, I saw people saying, like maybe you should buy a bidet instead of use toilet paper. Well, you still got to, you're not going to just let that drip down in your pants, right? You can't let that run through your leg. You got to wipe it with something. So yeah, I don't know, man. I don't know. Have y'all seen, I guess, when did you see mass hysteria in the DF dub of people buying up all the toilet paper? Like, when did the toilet paper run out there?
Oh man, probably like a week ago.
Yeah,
like a week ago. I went to Sam's on Thursday, which was like 4 days ago, and I have never seen Sam's this completely empty in my life of going to Sam's. All the toilet paper was practically gone. There's still water. Water was there. That was fine. But toilet paper was gone. You know what? They had some toilet paper, but it was like that super paper thin, hard toilet paper.
Oh, yeah.
Very cheap stuff. I didn't need none. I mean, we don't go through toilet paper like that. And even though, we could still...
You don't?
We could still find some. So...
Yeah.
But still, that it was pretty bare out in Sam's.
Yeah, that's so crazy, man. Yeah, I think we were probably a whole week ahead of y'all because this is Utah, home of the emergency prepper, because that's what apparently that's what the Mormon faith tells the people to have 2 years worth of resources in a cold storage or dry storage room. But with all that being said, that made me super shocked that, there was a lot of people here going to try to, snatch up as much toilet paper and water as they can because they're supposed to have 2 years stock of that. Right. And then I think it's like a couple months, stock worth of water, and then like 2 years stock of like wheat and all this other stuff. So it was really shocking to hear that. But I think what happened was, there's a lot of people who sort of went without, or there's a lot of people who were like, man, I couldn't get this, that, or the other thing when I went to the store. So there's been a lot of people here who have been like the anti-hoarders, who are like, hey, our family only uses like 4 rolls a month. We have a 24 pack. We're not going to use all that. So if anybody needs some, or if anybody knows somebody who's like potentially like an older person or whatever, or like a single mom, let us know. We can get it to you to drop them off or something like that. So thankfully, I think I've seen a lot of that here this last week, which is, which is a nice change of pace. So yeah, I think there's a lot of people who are just like, man, why don't you just be like a normal, nice human being rather than go and take all the things, because take what you need, take what you possibly need for a couple weeks or maybe even a month, rather than take enough for like 2 years. So
I'm gonna tell you one thing: the ramen noodles gone, completely gone.
I bet.
Oh man, that was gone. All the pasta was gone. What else? A lot of soups. A lot of the Campbell soups. The Progresso?
Yeah,
Progresso
still
soups.
there.
All those are still there. Campbell soup was gone.
It's because it costs like 50% more. I think that's why.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
That's true, but shoot, all the Campbell soups was gone.
That's so funny.
Let's see, milk was gone. What else? Trying to think what else. Obviously, I said toilet paper. Hand sanitizer and soaps.
Yeah.
Like just hand soaps were gone.
Yeah.
Baby wipes gone.
Yeah.
What else did I see? Tissue papers was gone. Tissue boxes. And that's all I could really think of right now.
Yeah,
but
I think a good place.
That stuff.
Yeah, that makes sense. I think a good place to get tissue is like Office Depot, Office Max, a place like that, because they sell all those sanitation products, and paper towels, just because people use that as part of their office supplies. So that's a good place to go, because I went there actually looking for boxes, for shipping boxes, and I was like, let me just go over there and see if they have some hand sanitizer or wipes. And yeah, like you said, they were out of the wipes, they were out of the hand sanitizer. They had plenty of soap, plenty of laundry and dish detergent, and then they had plenty of paper towels and also tissue like Kleenex. So I mean, if worse comes to worse, you run out of toilet paper, you could use some Kleenex, right? So it was just it's sort of crazy. The other thing about soap, man, I mean, I know my wife sent me yesterday when I was on my way back home from the old house to grab some hand soap if they had it at like a CVS or something over here. And that was all gone, but there was plenty of dish soap. And like you say, there was a lot of Progresso soup. There was a lot of like that third generation or whatever they call it, like soap and sanitizer and stuff. And I'm like, I know it costs a couple bucks more, but if you need it, you need it. If you're in dire need, you'll spend the money if you can or if you have to. So I snatched a couple of them things up because I was like, and some of the soup, because I was like, ain't nobody else buying it. I'm gonna go ahead and buy it. So, and the same thing, man. Here we went. I went with my daughter to like the Kroger here. It's called Smith's, same company. And we walked in. I needed to get some cereal. Walked on the cereal aisle. All the cereal was still there. I was like, this is dope. But then I went to the milk section. All the milk was gone except for the skim milk and the organic milk. So I was like, I'm going to buy one skim milk that's going to last me, for a couple weeks. And I'm going to buy the organic milk that's set for like a month and a half to expire. Because, hey, I know it's going to be a couple extra bucks, but I know that this is going to last a long time. And if I don't go through it, I'll still have it. You know what I'm saying? But that was funny just to see that all the organics were there, just skim milk and then nothing else. You know, it's like people got to live off of whole milk. I don't know. And then the meat section was sort of interesting because basically all the chicken was gone, but and all the steaks were gone, but there was tons of like grass-fed, organic everything, ground beef, ground bison, you know what I'm saying, buffalo, chicken, turkey, etc. There was also like some Japanese Wagyu beef that I don't think anybody had touched. There was stacks of it, and I was like, well, shoot, why don't anybody get that, even though I didn't get any? And then there was, there was like a bunch of pork. So, and there was a bunch of sausage, like those Eckerd sausage. So I was like, man, I'm going to snatch up a lot of sausage. Pause. So, so it's sort of interesting to see what people are hoarding. It's interesting. What's so funny and terrible at the same time. So one lady, when I was standing in line at that same store that same day, which all the lines were crazy long. I looked over and they have like the rotisserie chicken section where they put the rotisserie chickens and they had like some French bread next to it. So I just happened to glance over and I saw this lady looking at it, looked like she was trying to pick a chicken. And then I heard her sort of sneeze as I was about to turn away. So I looked back and
nope.
And I don't think she actually sneezed like in her arm. I think she just like sort of sneezed down or to the side. I was like, and then I kept watching her. And she had a big, disgusting, snotty, slobbery sneeze all over the rotisserie chicken and bread. And yeah, I mean, she looked like maybe she was like in her 50s, right? And I was like, and she didn't cover up anything. I was like, that lady just sneezed over all the chickens. And this couple in the front of me, they're like, what'd you say? I was like, that lady right there, she just sneezed over all the chickens. And she was still looking at him, and then she just walked off without even getting the chicken.
That's crazy.
I was like, man, come on, man. And there were several other people who noticed it too. So she walked off, and then I saw this mom show up with her son, her young kid, and they were looking at the chickens, trying to figure out which one they wanted. And I was like, hey, do not get a chicken. Don't get a chicken. This lady just sneezed all over him. And she was like, what? Huh? Oh, okay. Thanks for saving me. I was like, oh, yeah. Because I mean, who knows? Who knows if that lady is sick, or who knows if she has allergies, or who knows if she was just like had a nose irritation and she sneezed. But she sneezed all over the meat, and it made me mad.
Nice. Nice.
There's nothing like
that. That sounds wonderful. Yeah, I was walking in Sam's the other day, and like I could see over to the next aisle, maybe like 30 feet in front of me. This older guy just started coughing. No hand over his mouth or anything. I was just like, nah. Let me make this quick lift.
Now see, that's not cool.
Older folks don't care.
They don't care. And another thing that I saw was this lady. Actually, I think it's my wife's. Is it my wife's sister? My sister-in-law, or is it no? It's somebody else. Somebody else I read was saying that they just needed a bottle of hand sanitizer. They were just going to get one. So the lady sent her daughter down this aisle to grab the hand sanitizer. Because there was two on the shelf, right? There was two on the shelf. Mm-hmm. So the daughter reached for one. Just as she reached for it, this lady walked over and snatched it out of her hand and coughed on it and spit on the nozzle of it. And so then the daughter was like, reach for the next one. The lady grabbed that one and did the same thing. And she's like, better luck next time.
That's funny.
Like that's a grounds for somebody to get knocked smooth out.
You are so dumb. You are really dumb, for real.
We sort of belabored that point for a lot. So I know we have a few voicemails here from our Memphis correspondent, probably telling us about that Rona down in Memphis. Well, and maybe some other stuff. So before we go ahead and get into those voicemails, why don't you tell the people where they can leave us one?
Leave us voicemail 3853-BLAKPC. Or 305-325-2572. Let's talk about that Rona. What that Rona doing in your hood.
Let's talk about it. Yeah. All right, cool. So, it looks like we got 6 voicemails today. So here we go. First one up. 3, 2, 1.
Hey, y'all. It's Memphis Diva 99. Income tax people is out and about still. But the money's gone. lady?
It paused. I'm sorry. My bad.
Look, have y'all heard about this lady here in Memphis? A waitress? Somebody tipped her $4,000. And her company, the restaurant, I think is Denny's, they won't give it to her because they're saying they need to track down the person that left it to see if it was an error. So I'm like, $4,000 tip? So that means you had to put a 4, 3 zeros, a period, 0, 0. I mean,
Yep.
I'm just, there's a thing up to do here in Memphis. And she talked about getting her a lawyer and everything. And I was like, wow. So what would you do if you were a waiter and somebody tipped on your receipt a $4,000 tip? What would you do? Did she go back to the table time and tipped her and got the receipt and said, wait a minute, did they leave it? Before she got to the table, you know how the waitress gives your receipt, your bill, and you sign it, you give it a card, then she brings it back, and then you tip, you place it on the you place it, and then you get up and leave when she's busy. So did that happen? I mean, inquiring minds want to know, boo. Okay, well, I guess I'll talk to y'all later. It's 68 degrees here for motorcycles in the shop. And I'm going to talk to y'all later. Bye-bye.
All right. Wow. Well, yeah. So, what would you do, Jay?
I don't know, boy. I don't know at all. I heard about this story, though. Hey, man, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, you can't, I don't know if you could get, like, lawyers. Can you get lawyers involved in that situation?
You can, but the restaurant also reserves the right to contact the customer, to reach out to the customer, because there's people who make errors. Like Memphis Diva said, though, like you have to put five zeros on there. The other thing is you can. There's also ways that that maybe if she got a lawyer who got a handwriting specialist involved, if you will, to say, hey, we can prove that the waitress didn't
forge it,
add some zeros and this is how, or maybe we can prove that she did add zeros and this is how. It's normally not a mistake. I don't know. Maybe it is a mistake. I don't know. If that happened, but yeah, you can get lawyers involved. Now you might spend more money than you got tipped.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Thinking.
Unless you got a family friend that's doing it pro bono or something, but yeah,
that's kind of jacked up, man.
Yeah, I will say this: at Denny's, it's probably it's one of those places where they don't see large tips often. People normally get like $1 or $2 tips as probably like a norm, and then a $10 or $20 tip is like, wow, that's amazing. Big tip. But yeah, so I can see on one hand how Denny's wants to be like, let's go and confirm, but then I could also see how the girl, on the other hand, could be like, I mean, I got a really nice tip, from a really nice rich customer, obviously.
Right.
I'll say this, man. If I had a $4,000 tip, I would be like, it would be insane, man. I'd be so happy having waited tables everywhere from Papacitos to Del Frisco's. A place that is relatively not expensive unless you come with a family. Then it gets expensive, to a place that's like $150 per plate, per person per plate restaurant. I think the best tip I ever got was $1,000 tip.
Nice.
And it was crazy. It was absolutely insane. I'll tell you that. I know people who gotten more than that as a tip before, and that's just like for a single person. Now, me being in a group of waiters, waiting on a party or something like that. What was the highest? I think the highest might have been 4,000 or like 4,500, something like that. But I mean, that's a group of like, 10 people and splitting it. And then you also have to factor in a tip pool that you have to pay to the restaurant for, the busboys and cooks and dishwashers, etc. So that knocks that total down, like a 20% or something like that. So, so yeah, but still, obviously, that's a lot of money, man. So yeah, hopefully this girl actually did get tipped that way. Hopefully she wasn't forging any extra zeros on there. And she gets it resolved. But the problem is, even if she does get this resolved and she gets that money, Denny's will probably let her go just because they're trying to put them through a legal battle. So she now lost her job and she only probably has like, a couple months worth of expenses on her hands, So
right.
It's a slippery slope. But hopefully that works out for that girl though. That waitress, that's crazy.
That sucks, man. I don't know what I'd do. I don't know if I'd quit. I mean, you don't want to quit because you really won't get your $4,000.
Yeah.
And then, like you said earlier, you get lawyers involved. You possibly spending more than your $4,000 tip. Mm-hmm. Wow.
Yeah.
I guess you'd have to go straight up the chain, corporate. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you talk to your GM at the store, you talk to them and say, hey, if y'all not going to give me my money, I'm going to talk to the regional, et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I think it's very hard to forge or very hard to mistakenly put that unless A, you weren't thinking, or B, you meant, you meant something else and just did it. So, and then the other thing is, if I ever left if and when I left a crazy tip like that, like nothing close to that, but, left a tip that was like over the 20%, I've actually initialed next to it. I've actually written out the number as well. I've written out, $50 and 00 over 100. I've done that.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's happened before. Yeah. So interesting. So second voicemail. Pause 1 second. What?
What box?
The toolbox. Hey.
There's the hammer? I'll bring it.
For what?
Because for the fork.
Is there people out there with you or you're just by yourself?
I'm by myself.
You have your coat on?
I'm going to get it.
Get a
I
jacket.
haven't left yet.
Hey, you can use that. Do not use the hatchet that's in there.
What's the hatchet? Oh, I haven't seen it. I will.
Close the door, please. Thanks. Okay. Here we go. Sorry. Son's trying to use the hammer. And I'm just trying to make sure he's not using the axe that's in there too. Here we go. 3. Next voicemail. 3, 2, 1.
Hashtag Blackout Podcast. This Memphis Evil 99 giving you the Lift Chronicles. Oh my God. So it's 11:30 at night. I can't sleep. It's my therapy. Lord, the Income Tax Chronicles. So this guy just gets out the car. I pick him up. He's got bags and groceries. The woman he's been dating for a few years has put him out. He has been a dad to her kids, done everything he can for her. She's gotten an $8,000 income tax refund and has put him out. Said she didn't need him anymore. I listened to this man talk for 22 minutes. He is heartbreaking. He told me he was 36. He's heartbroken. 36, a veteran, and he is now single. I said, well, baby, I'll be 50 on March 11th. I'm single. I'm not a veteran. But life goes on. For him to deal with that shit, that's what I told him, and to pray and to never go back.
Wow.
And he got out of my car and said, you women are scandalous. And I said, okay, now get your ass on. And that is my report for the Lift Chronicles.
Wow. Thank you, Kayla, for the Live Chronicles. We're waiting for those. Amazing.
That's funny.
Wow, one $8,000 tax return, and she's like, I don't need you no more.
8 G's. Wow.
That's it. That's all it
Poor
takes.
guy. Poor guy. Feel bad for him now.
She probably been planning for a while. She's like, as soon as I get this 8 G's on my tax return, he gone.
Deuces. Chunking up the deuce and I'm gone.
Wow. That's crazy, man. That's crazy. Wow, yeah, Kayla, sounds like you had some sage advice for that man. Wow. Wow. All right. I'm happy to hear the Lyft Chronicles are happening. This is a good thing. It's a good thing. All right, here we go. Next up. 3, 2, 1. Wait. Go.
Hashtag Blackout Podcast. This is Memphis Diva 99. Coming to you on the way to my full-time job, leaving my part-time job. But I tell you this, Lyft, I am a therapist, y'all. When I tell you be some people get in this car that make me want to choke they mate. I just had a lady get in the car. Her husband died 3 years ago today. Her current boyfriend told her he didn't want her no more. He had been using her for the insurance money and all this stuff. And now
At the end of
he was leaving. So I had to go pick her up and listen to her story. And she was a beautiful woman. And I guess it don't matter about you being beautiful if you're just in a situation. Bless her heart. Oh, Lordy. You think you're going through stuff, then somebody else hits you with the wham, bam, thank you, ma'am stuff. So you really ain't going through nothing major than somebody else. But I told her to keep her head up, to leave that man, let that man be. Said her mother was on her way to pick her up. And this is the Lyft confessional. Yeah. The Lyft confessional. Have a great morning. I will talk to y'all later.
Wow. I mean, this is very interesting. Another situation where money is involved.
Yes.
You know, insurance money.
Wow.
And she didn't say how much insurance money, did she? Like that could be thousands and thousands.
Yeah, possible. It's possible.
So crazy. All right, here we go. Next up, 3, 2, 1.
This Memphis Diva 99. I'm on my way to work. So, Flavor Flav got fired?
Yeah.
I'm so confused.
Mm-hmm.
He the hype man for Public Enemy, correct? So, he got fired because he didn't want to support somebody that Chuck D was supporting politically. And so, he got fired, but I didn't know Flavor Flav had a job. Because, is he getting money? Because, remember he opened the chicken spot, and then it closed. And so, I don't know what he's doing now. Yeah, interesting. Okay. I just thought it was interesting. He got fired. But Chuck D does own everything. The logo and all that stuff, and he wrote stuff for Flavor Flav, and yeah. Okay then, bye. Just in traffic, you know.
Wow. So I heard, I don't know, I heard a little bit of this story from someone else. So can you explain the situation? Do you know much more about Flavor Flav getting fired?
I mean, I could try to explain it. So apparently, like Bernie Sanders' campaign and stuff was using like the song "Fight the Power" and on like in the rallies, promotional items, posters, and stuff like that. Mm-hmm. So Flavor, I guess he felt some way about it, so he was, I guess, sent a cease and desist to the campaign over it. But you know, Chuck D and Flavor Flav, they've been kind of like at odds, button heads over the years because Flavor's always had like a drug problem, drinking problem, and stuff like that. And it's just a bunch of different things that have caused him to to be on thin ice, skating on thin ice with the with the rest of the
with the group. Yeah.
Yeah, so I guess that was just like the last straw, Flavor trying to, do something crazy like this. And
Yeah, without the whole group.
Coming together collectively to
approving. Yeah.
Right.
See, that's crazy. I thought it had to deal with him not going to a concert or something like that. But maybe it was part of it too. I think there was a lot of tardiness that he had or something.
Yeah, there's a lot of things combined over the years that's led up to this. The tardiness, like you said, the not showing up to concerts because of like money and I forgot there was another story. I can't remember what I heard, but I guess the group was doing something for kind of like some kind of charity event, and Flav said he wasn't going to do it because he just didn't feel well. It just wasn't in him to do something like that for charity. But instead, on that same day, he went ahead and judged, I think it was like a bikini contest or a twerking contest. I don't know, something like that. Yeah. So his values, him and Chuck D are kind of like split in what they want morally, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah.
But
makes sense. Well, Flavor Flav after doing the Flavor of Love and then marrying Bridget, whatever her name is, and wasn't that her name?
Henson.
There you go.
Yeah.
And the show that they had, like, I don't know, there's a lot of stuff going on with that man. And it's sad to see him leave Public Enemy, even though I know Public Enemy is not as relevant with current music, if you will. Obviously, there's a lot of other relevance that it has and had.
Right.
And I know that they're still doing concerts, and there's still people who want to hear their music and go to their shows, but it's just one of those things, But I guess the thing is, if it's a group, so the group can vote you out, apparently. And even if you are getting, royalties or whatever as a part of it, you can still get knocked out the box. So, it's sad to see him gone, but then again, he's not really making music right now, so not really missing much, I guess. Yeah. I don't know. Anyway.
Greatest hype man. One of the greatest hype men.
I got to say that's true, though.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. Very true, very true.
There's been a lot of great hype, man.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he's one of the greatest.
Very true. Oh, yeah, and happy birthday again to Memphis Diva. I think either me or Jay, one of us commented on your birthday post on your birthday. So, yeah, happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday.
Man,
happy birthday.
Wish you many more. Yeah. So, here we go. Next up.
This is Memphis Diva 99 at lunch. So, this is the Lyft confessional little episode. Yes, I have had prostitutes in the car, and I've had their prostitute customers in the car. Last week, I had a young man who got robbed by the prostitute at the motel, and his brother got him a lift to get home, and he, confessed his sins to me in the car, and I didn't ask him, I didn't go in detail because I wanted his little nasty ass get out of my car. I got scared of the connoisseurs trying to wreck violence, whatever. But, yeah. 9 times out of 10, it'd be the after part in the car, like the man, But, I get them. It's quite interesting. And I'm like the counselor. I'm like the Lyft counselor. I'm like, tell y'all some stories. But I'm going to finish my sandwich. And I see the delivery man that pulled up. And boy, he got muscle. Where's my Diana Ross song? I got muscle. Hey. Okay, bye.
It's funny.
Wow. That's crazy. Yeah.
It's funny.
So I think we did talk about the asking, and maybe she had some prostitute or had picked up any, anybody like that in the car. And yeah, there's one of the chronicles right there. Got robbed by the prostitute. The prostitute. Dang. The chances you take, right? Decisions you make. All right. Here we go. Last voicemail in 3, 2, 1.
Oh, y'all. This Memphis Diva 99. Look, can y'all explain to me why people buy tissue paper for the corona virus, the CD, whatever? What's tissue paper got to do with it? Wash your hands. Wash your wrists. Stop. Oh my God. Wash your hands. Wash your doorknobs off. You're unclean, ML. Y'all going in here buying tissue paper, Clorox. If you clean your house, you probably had this shit in your house. Okay? And that's all I got to say. All I friggin' wanted was, oh Lord, some chocolate chip cookies mix, though. It can't, and I wanted a lasagna dinner, and I can't, it just pissed me off. How y'all doing? But guess what? They got the stuff in the hood. I live in the hood. Guess what? Walked in the hood, was like, wow, tissue paper, everything. Okay, then. I'm gonna go eat some food. I'll call y'all later and tell you what my job doing with the virus. Bye.
Wow. And that was just a couple hours ago today, the day we're recording. So, yeah, just like we talked about earlier, man, it sounds like, she walked into a certain store and they didn't have it. But when you go to the hood, though, the hood is fully stocked.
Yep. I can tell you that right now. They, the Walgreens and the CVS that's near us off of Lancaster. Sorry for the people out there that don't know.
Don't tell the colonizers.
Lancaster.
Don't tell the colonizers.
Yeah, they ain't listening. But yeah, I heard they were like fully stocked with toilet paper and hand sanitizer and all the good stuff. Mm-hmm. So
yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, that's the thing, man. That's the thing. I think, if you go either out into the country or if you go to the hood, you're likely to probably get all that stuff compared to trying to go in the city, or in a nicer neighborhood, et cetera, et cetera. So, I don't know. Get what you need, people. Get what you need for your family. Don't get everything. That's unnecessary. Unless you're buying for another family member or friend that can't come with you or that can't, that can't afford it. Get what you need. That's what it's about, man. Be humane, because you want somebody to do that to you. Golden rule, man. Golden rule. As the owner of Hooks, Rubs, and Spices, a lot of the posts that you see me do on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, one of the hashtags I use is the golden rule. Matthew 5:12. Even if you're somebody who doesn't really deal with the Bible, it basically says do to someone else like you would want them to do to you.
Yep.
Be nice. That's what it is, man. It's so crazy. So crazy. So, yeah. Well, Memphis Diva, stay safe out there, with all those crazy people. And everybody out there, really just stay safe, take the precautions that you need to for your family, for yourself, for your friends, take care of your elderly people that are around you, if they need it, and the kids, the little kids, because little kids, just don't fully understand it,
That's right.
I gotta say, man,
kids keep their hands in their mouth.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah. Listen to the CDC and the World Health Organization, WHO. I think those are the. Yeah, I almost said that right. I think those are the two most trusted sources. Don't listen to our president, who was late in getting enough, testing kits for us, and who had the mentality of, oh, you're gonna be fine, it's gonna blow over, without even saying, stay sanitary, wash your hands, all that stuff. Now it's a national emergency. So and I know that we don't always want to take what China or Korea or some other countries do as an example to follow, but a stat that I saw was China was seeing 3,000 new coronavirus cases a day. Granted, they have 1 billion people in their country, but yeah, 3,000 new cases a day. And then since they instituted the social distancing, which is a very interesting new term, if you will, since they implemented that and it's taken a hold, the past couple weeks or month or whatever, I think they're down to maybe 20 a day. So 3,000 to 20, there's something there because people aren't spreading it around other people in groups. Yeah. So just be smart out there, people. So I don't know, Jay, on that note, do we just want to go ahead and tap our love box and get up out this place?
Let's do it. Let's do it.
All right, cool. So Careless Whisper rolling on the 1s and 2s.
On the 2s and 3s. And the 4s and 5s.
Yep. And we are tapping that love box.
Tap your love box for Jack Ma, the Chinese billionaire who is donating 1 million face masks and 500,000 coronavirus testing kits to the U.S. He needs a round of applause.
Wow.
Shout out to him.
Wow. That's amazing. Yeah, definitely shout out to him. Big time love box tapped. Tap your love box. If you are one of the smart people and while you believe all the stuff is grown from the grocery stores, you're resourceful enough to take snacks, take ingredients to build, to cook things, get the meat and things like that you can freeze and that lasts a long time. And you're resourceful enough to find other means to survive for the next week or two.
Hell, tap your love box if you're kind of pissed that your kids have to stay home an extra 2 weeks with you in the house.
You'll be fine. You'll be fine.
Nobody wanted to do that. Nobody wanted to stay home an extra 2 weeks in the house with their kids.
Yeah.
At least send your kid. I'm sure they'd much rather be happy if they send their kids to daycare for 2 whole weeks.
Yeah.
Than be home with the kids.
I gotta say, man, but then again, tap your love box. If you have to stay with those kids for the next 2 weeks, and then you're gonna find out that the teacher was right about your kids. You always say the teacher talking bad about your kids, but then now you're gonna learn the truth.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, I wish that could be the case for my kids because they always say they're such little angels at school. Mm-hmm. At home, it's a different story. All right, let's see. What else can we tap to? Tap. Ain't really much good stuff to tap about. Tap your love box if you're going kind of crazy because there is no sports around.
Yeah, that is
something agreed.
Yes. Yeah, I'm trying to sell something on Facebook too, so I guess I just got a message. But yeah, man, I got to tap my love box on that because, it's supposed to be March Madness right now. It's supposed to be a lot of other things happening, and it's not. So it's sort of tough, but for the greater good, you know what I'm saying? You just gotta cancel all the things, because the athletes can catch it too. Obviously, 2 Utah Jazz players were the first 2 to contract it. So, in major sports, as far as we know. So, yeah. And then, so then there's this little kid in Connecticut or somewhere in that New England who has tested positive for the disease, and his parents said that he got it because he got an autograph from the Utah Jazz player Rudy Gobert. Now, and because Utah played in Boston, a couple weeks ago or whatever, a week ago. So the thing is, though, it also came out that this little kid and his family was on a cruise just before they went to that game. So it's potentially they could have brought it back and the kid could have given it to this athlete, So I don't know where the blame lies there, but the parents were trying to, say that that's what happened. So I don't know, man. Hopefully that kid is fine and gets better, and hopefully the athlete does too, and all the athletes do as well. So it's just crazy, man. So tap your love box if you are if you're wondering how the teachers of all the school districts that either do or don't already have an online teaching system in place. I'd say for the one mainly don't. Tap your love box if you're trying to figure out how they're going to come up with online curriculum in 2 days or so, and come up with it on the fly and be able to administer it to students.
Yes, indeed. That's what I want to know.
It's weird, man. Because my kids over here, so they just told them, Friday that they are going to be out of school for 2 weeks, which is the incubation period for the coronavirus. So I'm thinking maybe they should have canceled school really for 3 weeks. So just in case some cases pop up, after the fact. But yeah, the teachers will have to go to school Monday and Tuesday to try to come up with the solution. And then they're going to start doing online classes on Wednesday. Well, first of all, what if people don't have internet at their house? What if people parents only have a cell phone that they access the internet and they don't want to use their data? What if people don't have a computer so they can't access some of these online training, school resources? And the teachers have to figure this out in like just a couple days. So what if there's no way to scan up all the documents they need to put up or all the lessons they need to put up? Like, it's a lot of work you're asking these teachers that are already trying to care for our kids for 8 hours a day. I don't know, man.
And who are already underpaid.
Yeah, underpaid. Yeah. Most of them are childbearing range.
Overworked.
If they're women and men, so they probably got kids that they have to deal with too.
Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yep. Ah, boy.
Crazy.
Well. Tap your love box if you finally got that J Electronica album after 10 years of waiting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I can't say if you over loved it or hated it or whatever. You just finally got it, and you're happy now that you got it.
Nice.
10 freaking years.
Nice. 10 years, huh?
10 years for 10 tracks.
Wow.
10 tracks on that album.
Well, I haven't got it yet, but I've heard it was great.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
I know we recorded more, but it's not bad.
Yeah. Tap your love box if you're looking forward to this whole pandemic to being beyond us. And just sort of seeing the new, I guess, the things that people are thankful for after this is all sort of past us. Because I think overall, when we look back on it, man, I think that, people will say, I had an opportunity to spend some more time with my family that I didn't necessarily have before. People work 9 to 5s, you only get a couple hours with your kids and with your wife in awake time, before you have to go to bed unless it's the weekend. So I think there's going to be a lot of positivity. Hopefully there will be more and more people around the country and around the world trying to find a way to be a nicer and better person to their neighbors or other people that are in need. And hopefully we find a lot of positivity out of this, situation, which could potentially be pretty bad. So
as much as I really want to hope for that, I don't think it's going to end up that way. I think we're going to go back to our same old silly selves.
Eventually.
I was reading this today. Yeah, eventually. I was reading today that like Italy, like since the whole shutdown of the whole country and whatnot, like pollution, they had like a pollution kind of scanner map. Like it has decreased a crazy amount, So bam, just that right there can kind of give you a glimpse at pollution and everything that's affecting the our planet. Just that little glimpse right there, the pollution. Now, can you imagine if that was like brought to like the states, like measuring pollution and whatnot in the states? And I don't even know if they did it in China, but it decreased a whole bunch. That could right there kind of help the planet, But I think once this all blows over, and things start getting back to quote unquote normal, we're gonna go right back to our same old super productive. We gotta mass produce this, and this.
Yeah.
You know, we're gonna go right back to what it was before.
Yeah, I think you're right, man. I definitely think you're right. You know, I hope that I hope that, you know, there's a period of time at least where people can have a different perspective on things than they did now, a more positive perspective. And that's just me trying to be a positive person as well. But I also know that we probably gonna go back to our ways, which is, you know, unfortunate in a lot of senses. But, you know, so. Yeah. Oh man, but that would be cool if you know if you know we did have a lot less pollution here, you know, because of things and other things changed for the better. So I don't know, people. Yeah, I don't know, but on that note, you know, that's about all I got. Other than saying, hey man, you know, Hooks, Rubs, and Spices still has some stuff to ship, so. Check out that www.hooksrub.com or go to the Etsy page and search for Hooks, Rubs, and Spices. We have some to ship, so, you know, if you want something to season all your meat and all your other bland canned foods that you've hoarded, and even to make your toilet paper taste better and maybe even feel better as you use it, get some Hooks Rub. And other than that, man, tell the people where to find us, I guess.
All right, people, 385-3BLAKPC, 385-325-2572 is the number, or you can find us Twitter and Instagram, #BlackoutPod, iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Google, blah, blah, blah. What did I say? iTunes, Stitcher, Google Play, SoundCloud, Anchor, Spreaker, YouTube, email us stuff, #BlackoutPod@gmail.com. As Jared said, get yourself some hooks. Yeah. And there you have it, episode 152.
Yeah.
We dodging that Rona in all directions.
Yes, indeed.
Yeah. Take care of yourself out there. Wash your hands, wash your ass. Use that toilet paper for some good since y'all bought it all up. So yeah, there you go. Make sure your kids keep their fingers out their mouth.
Oh yes,
keep your fingers out your mouth.
Please do.
Yeah. I probably would have gotten to like all the conspiracy stuff. I don't know why that just hit me. So I think I was probably thinking Kayla's conspiracy corner that she had last time we talked about to the voicemail from her.
Yeah.
But maybe another time. Next week.
Maybe next week.
Get into some craziness. I got some crazy stuff I be thinking about this virus.
Yeah.
Might be too scary. Might not be. Might just be my crazy thinking.
Well, we can think about it.
It will be a pretty interesting movie though, if that could get me feeling.
Yes.
Yeah. No. Hopefully it doesn't come through. But I'm trying. So
let's hope not. All right, we're blacking out.
All right, baby.
Peace.
Streets are on fire tonight. Death is on the tip of her